And to the story earlier teased, the planned living wage by the federal government of Nigeria for working class in the country has been described as a laudable step. The current minimum wage can no longer sustain average families in the country, considering the prices of goods, especially essential commodities in the market. Galaxy News correspondent Lebi Joseph sent in this report.
During his New Year's speech, President Bola Tinubu said the federal government will implement a new national living wage for Nigerians to feel the impact of their government and realize their economic aspirations for the well-being of the poor and the vulnerable.
If, the government is able to implement a national living wage, then we may be in for a good ride as far as workers within the civil service, federal and state civil service are concerned, and one would imagine that organized private sector players would also adopt, that. In fact, what I would expect is that the president will probably enact a legislation to make this, if you like, compulsory across board, because that's the way it is in a lot of other climes.
Financial analyst Segun Shokwiton is skeptical about the way the government intends to go about the living wage to ensure it does not trigger inflation, which is already in hyper mode.
The other thing that this might mean is that inflation might be triggered. So you have to, as a government, I would imagine that if you are really planning to implement a national minimum wage for your country, then you must have developed the framework to curtail the inflationary pressures that this is going to create in the economy. I don't think that the government will just come out, announce that we're going to implement a national living wage, and then you are not immediately thinking about how to ensure that this doesn't trigger galloping inflation. So, and I think, so for me, it's generally speaking, it's a good move in the right direction. You're welcome.
Meanwhile, a labor leader and human rights activist, Comrade Xavier Uche, said Nigerians deserve living wage, but feels it may not make any difference if the government does not address the economic quagmire in the country.
Bread that was a common man food before, bread is now a big man food. Bread that is being sold for 600 naira before is now 1,500 naira. So how much we give the workers that will be enough for them to take care of their house, of their family? The house rent is increasing on daily basis. Why? Because of the increments in building material.
Comrade Uche then charged government to work towards strengthening the local currency and declared that the only way is to give all prerequisite support to local manufacturers and farmers.
In Nigeria, many companies are relocating out of Nigeria. So now the only thing is for the government to strengthen the SMEs, you're right, and also open our borders. You can see. Let me tell you the fact. If you go to Cotonou, rice is still at old price. Rice is about 30,000 naira in Cotonou, but over here it's almost 70,000 naira. Why? The government policy, they close the border.